Life can be very hard. Life can be very hard when you don't know where you're going, what you want to do, and you're just stuck in this messy middle in life where you feel as though you're stuck behind in a rut. Everyone else is in front of you, miles ahead, and you're stuck in this messy middle where you don't fully feel like everybody else, and you're feeling like, well, what am I lacking here? Why am I not doing what I should just be, what I'm supposed to be doing? Why am I not? I don't know. Maybe it's you're not in work, or you're not in some kind of education, or you just feel a bit off from everybody else. You don't feel like the rest of them. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you don't feel like everybody else because life isn't really a competition against everybody else. You know, you learn from your mistakes. You evaluate yourself. You look at the drawing board, and really, it's about you, what you want to do. Everybody else, like like you can't get wasted time back. You can't get moments back. You can't get anything back in life. Right now, we're just living. We have to get on with our life right now in the present. No matter where you are, how old you are, just where you are, you've just got to get on with life. And it's the best move to make. Like the best move on the chessboard, the best move is just to move. Just make a move, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I think that sometimes not knowing and just doing something out of the ordinary and just doing anything is better than doing nothing. And people can be very harsh and judgmental, and it's not necessarily a nice world to be living in right now. People are very much critical and skeptical and judgmental and arrogant, narcissistical, and it's easy to get caught. It's easy to get caught up in the middle and to be distracted and just to really just be down. And because everywhere right now, I mean, economically we're not doing good, politically, but it feels like the world is just, it doesn't, maybe it's you, or maybe it's both. Maybe it's you and the world. I don't know. But people definitely have changed. There's a lot of assholes, knobheads out there that, unfortunately, they don't see you as an equal. They don't see you as a person, and their time is more valuable. And they don't care if they waste your time. It's all about them, and they take advantage of your kind nature, and we're just assholes, and they're not gonna do better than you. Like I said before, it's not a competition, but I think in order to move on, you need to accept everything and be like, well, you know what, this is my fault, but now I'm not going to be taken for a mug anymore. You're not going to be wasting any of my time anymore. I'm not going to be a pushover, or you're not. We're not going back to square one. And you've got to realize, and you've got to go through shit sometimes to realize that time and life is precious, so valuable, because you can't get a certain age back. You can't get anything back. You can't get time, moments. You know, you might be able to make up for time. You might be able to, plan more ahead and be more prepared. But once time is gone, it's gone. And that's it. You've got to just move on with time because time doesn't stop for anybody. And it's easy to get caught up in this, well, poor me, poor, like this, in this tangent of feeling sorry for yourself, and the woe was me mentality, the boo-hoo, poor me mentality. But in time, like, nobody cares, nobody gives a fuck. And ultimately, including me, I have to do everything for myself now. I have to just move on with time. I have to do the best for myself. And that's what it's all been about. It's always been about this, and I have to take the good, the bad, and the ugly. I have to be responsible and be like, well, you know what, I've not been taking a lot of consideration and time for myself, and I've not been doing the best. But it's only for now. I can only go upwards for me. Now I know, and I realise I need to just be working harder. I need to, you know, but I still need to take time for myself. I'm not a machine. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being with emotions and feelings. And if I don't feel like I'm up to do something when I'm not gonna push myself to do it. If I feel like I need 5 minutes out or 10, 15, 20 or whatever, then that's what I need to do. Unfortunately, I don't think life is designed to cater for you personally. It's this system where everybody should just play the part and everybody should just get on with it. Everyone should just man up. Everyone should just fucking paint a smile on and get on with doing the job. And it's very rare to come across an employer that really gives a fuck about your emotions and how you are as an individual. Especially if you're working in a corporate place. If you're working in a multinational corporate monopoly or whatever, where, I don't know, say you're working for Starbucks. Starbucks are not going to necessarily consider you as you. They're not going to see you as an individual as much as maybe a more private, family owned coffee shop where you're working with your family or whatever. Because that's just unfortunately how life is. The more corporate kind of job you go into, the more you're just seen as a number and not a human being. And it's only these small companies where you're more looked after more, and you actually get to see the owner now and again more than the fucking corporate company. Corporate jobs are great for demand, and there's so many job roles opening up in corporate jobs, and that's why a lot of people go for them, because it's so easy. It's easier to get than these small private jobs. And money, if you want, everyone needs money. Everyone wants to go on holiday. Everyone needs to pay the bills and water and food, and sometimes you just can't be beggars can't be choosers. So yeah, it's easy to get lost in this money chasing. It's easy to get caught up in all this, because life is a competition. We're all competing. It's either directly or indirectly, we're all competing against the position that's just opened. Maybe in work there's a FLT job that's just opened, and it's guaranteed more hourly. You've got more of you're earning more money hourly, a better salary. Maybe it fits better as well. Like maybe the rota's better. And human beings are very competitive creatures, and unfortunately, a lot of people do not care how they treat other people to get to where they want to be, to where they want to go. And it is very much me versus everyone kind of. It's a free for all mentality. Nothing is just structured. Nothing is just civil. What? Everything and a lot of things are just a free for all, and It's either you get with it or you go home, and there's no in between. So there is a side to humanity where it's very much poisonous, and you can see the wood for the trees, and people are just fucking bitter, ugly, demonic, corrupt individuals that really don't care about anyone else other than themselves and the money and whatever, their own kind of people, their own clique or whatever. And really, where do you go from here when you feel like you're alone? Well, there's therapists, but when you go down the therapist route and you're seeing somebody and you're doing all this self care routine, you still just feel like you're stuck at a dead end where no matter what you're doing for yourself and how much coping strategies you're doing and just to filter out all the bullshit in society and the therapists you see and self care routine and the exercising and everything. Sometimes you still feel like you're at a crossroads. Sometimes you still feel like, you know what, I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of everyone else. I'm tired of having to put on a persona. I'm just tired. Even when making this video now, I'm kind of scared on how I come across and how my communication comes across and how people understand me. All the time I get anxious just like everybody else. And sometimes I feel like I have to be this fucking super being or whatever, this superhuman, this super whatever, and this fucking. I can't let the cracks show. And it's a load of bullshit, really, because none of us are designed to be perfect. None of us are designed to be this super whatever, to be this Superman, this superwoman. And sometimes people put unnecessary expectations that they feel like, well, you should be able to just get on with it now. You're great at your job or whatever. You're this, they see you as this role, or job title or whatever. And they think, well, this guy has got nothing going on behind the scenes. He's just a fucking slave worker here. He's got nothing to do. He hasn't got a life outside of work. All he's meant for here is just to work, and he's got no outside stuff going on, problems. And it's easy, and it can be very easy to get caught up in all this and just see somebody for what they are rather than who they are. Putting people into fucking boxes and labels. Oh well, he's just a bin man. Oh, he's just a warehouse worker. He's just a this and oh, blah, blah. It's bullshit. We're just human beings who are just trying to make a fucking living. We didn't ask to be put in awkward social scenarios where we're supposed to play the fucking peacemaker and the referee, and it's all forced shit. It's all forced, where we're just put into these scenarios, situations where we didn't even sign up to to play this role. So never apologize for being yourself. Don't apologize for something you need to do. Like, if you know that you need a break, if you, for whatever reason, that's just what you need. Once when I was working at this warehouse, I wasn't feeling too great mentally. social anxiety and everything. And I just kind of like just made this excuse to go home early, and I said, "Oh well, I just feel ill." I said, "Oh, sorry, is that okay?" And the manager said, "Oh no, that's not okay. It's not all right." Like trying to make me feel guilty, and unfortunately, I think there's just too many people who just see you for what you are rather than who you are, and they put you as a job title before as a human being. And I think that's why there's so many problems in today's world, because the job title and the money and the unnecessary deadlines and the workload and the fucking pile up on your desk in the office of how many jobs and responsibilities you're supposed to be doing now is has got to a point where you just can't fucking handle it no more. Like, well, Bob's not here today. He's sick. Well, you're gonna have to do his job now. You're gonna have to stay the overtime. You're gonna have to do this X, Y, and Z. And when you don't feel seen or heard, and you're just expected to do without questioning, and then if you dare to have the courage to fucking question your manager, why your manager hasn't organised someone to cover your shift and why it's got to be you. Oh well, you're supposed to do it, or like like you're the bad guy in this, not your manager. Honestly, it's fucking bullshit.